What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Poll Rundown. This is probably the most important poll rundown I have ever made. One quick change to the way poll rundown normally is. Normally, in a poll rundown, I cover the entire poll, and I tell you very clearly which way I am voting. For this poll, because of its implications long-term for this game, as well as the drama that surrounds whether you vote yes or no, if you want to come hang out in my stream and hear, which way I'm voting, you are more than welcome to. Or tweet me, do what you got to do. But for now, I'm going to do my best to unbiasedly, that's not a word, but take it as you will, as impartially as I can, just tell you the two sides to the GE vote. I will be covering the rest of the poll in another video. You can find that by clicking the annotation that's probably somewhere on screen right now, and there will be a link in the description. But this video is only, that's the training post, this video is only to talk about the GE and basically talk about when you're making your decision on voting yes or no to the Grand Exchange, what are you voting for? So, really simple. We're just going to go pros and cons, and I will leave you guys at that, and then you can check out the rest of the poll if you want. So let's just read the question real quick. Should we introduce the Grand Exchange? The trading post would be removed and replaced with the Grand Exchange building northwest of Varrock. A collect option would also be added to every bank. Great. So, pros to the GE. If you vote yes, here is why you are voting, or at least here's why you should be voting yes. And keep in mind, as this poll goes on, guys, there's going to be a lot of streamers, video makers, high-profile RuneScape players shouting at you to vote the way they want. Please form your own opinion. That is the most important out of all of this. Form your own opinion. Make sure you're not being, coerced into voting a way that, you think you shouldn't. There's a big difference between being told what to vote and being told to go vote. So, pros to the GE. Convenience of trading. It is very, very difficult to trade in old school, at least compared to past RuneScapes. You get the GE, you get a much easier way to trade. Number two, scamming is a thing of the past with the GE. We get the GE, you will not see much item scamming anymore. You basically kind of take the whole trading another player, the second trade screen even being a thing. That all disappears. Granted, it doesn't eliminate trading completely, scamming completely, and GE does contain, I'm sure there's some stuff that some people will figure out with the GE. But as far as you can tell right there, just from what I've said, convenience of trading is going to be a lot easier, and scamming is definitely going to be reduced. Now, on the negative side, the GE is a very different way of trading. So what we're going to see if we get a GE, the economy is going to change. It's really not much of a question. There's a couple things that we can probably expect to go down. It's mostly speculation, but one of the things, we're removing a very important mechanic. Well, let's not call it important. Let's just call it a mechanic of old school trading that exists right now. I'm going to call it the bulk principle. And basically what I mean by this is just some made up shit, but the name at least. The bulk principle being that if I am a skiller training herblore, training fletching, training crafting, something like that, where I need to buy lots of supplies at once, I am definitely going to be more willing to pay someone extra amounts of money in order for them to sell me large amounts of that item. The convenience of buying quantity, basically. The GE would get rid of that. It also gets rid of the issue, or I guess the mechanic in which I am that same skiller and I have made a bunch of stuff. If I want to offload all of it and get rid of it as fast as possible, I will lower my price because I have bulk. So there's two sides to that, and not really sure whether that balances out. If the GE comes out, I haven't really thought about it, but that's a mechanic you can definitely say goodbye to. One of the other things that the GE does is brings supply into much more heavy favor. Think of it this way. On an economics level, you have buyers and sellers in the current old school RuneScape. Buyers act on necessity. So if I need potions to go kill a boss, I go buy those potions. Whether it's difficult or not, I need those potions, so I'm going to buy them. Suppliers have items that they sell, whether they got them from clue scrolls, skilling, PVMing, what have you, and they sell them if they need money, so on necessity for money. One mechanic that will definitely change with the GE, and I can kind of just point out something in my bank to illustrate this point, just real quickly, I suppose. You can see all this rune stuff I kind of have, and just I've done a good job of selling it over time, but I guess my clue scroll section is a very good example. This stuff, if you've ever tried selling specific single clue items in old school, it's really hard. And I can tell you right away, if we get a GE, the novelty of having all this stuff in my bank is cool, but I'm going to be looking to offload it and liquidate my bank very quickly. So basically what you'll see with a GE is high levels liquidating their banks for cash, and that includes Slayer drops that they might have normally alked. So basically what you're going to get is driving down of prices, that kind of thing. And yeah, so I guess that's fair enough. I've spent a little too much time on the negatives. I apologize for that. Kind of wanted to keep it equal and balanced, but there's just a couple negatives of the GE, obviously, along with those pros. If we can just recap real quick. Number one, pros of GE. Trading becomes much easier. Negatives, or excuse me, as well, the negatives of normal trading, like scamming, we're going to see a lot less of them. And then cons, the GE is changing the way, plain and simple, let's just like put it in layman's terms, plain and simple, the GE works in a very specific way right now. Or excuse me, the economy works in a very specific way right now. Trading, works, blah blah blah. We have prices. The GE changes the way that works. And I would, again, this is not impartial, but I'm going to say it anyway. Most of the effects that we can expect from the GE coming out are probably going to be valued as negative effects on the economy. So just keep that in mind. It's a swap. You're trading convenience for, some negative effects for you. Maybe it's a little harder to make money off some things. Either way, that is it for the GE. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being impartial. If you would like to watch and learn about the rest of the poll, it will be normal poll rundown style. I'll tell you the way I'm voting for the rest of it. Be sure to get out there and vote, guys. No matter what you're voting, just get out there and vote. And please, like I said before, remember, just because someone tells you to vote a certain way doesn't mean you should do that. Form your own opinion. Do your own research. This game is important to some people, like myself, as sad as that is. And remember, please, as always, read your dev blogs, and of course, vote for the game, not for yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you later.